We have lots of English phrasal verbs in this one. As you know, a war has been raging on in the Ukraine for the last couple years. President Trump has tried to get President Zelensky and President Putin together to talk peace, but that hasn't happened yet. In fact, President Putin continues to bomb Ukraine. Well, President Trump finally said stop to President Putin. In today's English lesson, we are going to look at a news clip that talks about just that. You will learn the English phrasal verb pop up. You will learn what it means to have bad timing. We will talk about a couple different ways we use the word strike in English. You will learn the English phrasal verb stepped off. We'll talk about the word essentially. How about this English phrasal verb, head back? It actually has nothing to do with your head. Another English phrasal verb, figure out. And we'll also talk about the difference between a chump and a chimp.
Has taken the bullet train to Chumptown.
If that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and hit that like button. If this is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe. That way you will never miss another English lesson. And let's take a look at that newscast together.
I do want to take you on to some breaking news that we are following at this time here. Let's pop up this live look at a Truth Social post coming in from President Donald Trump. He is now criticizing Vladimir Putin and Russia. He said, quote, "I am not happy with the Russian strikes on Kyiv, not necessary and very bad timing. Vladimir, stop. 5,000 soldiers a week are dying. Let's get the peace deal done."
For each of these terms, I will have the official definition and I will use it in a sentence, sometimes two sentences. Pop up. It means to suddenly appear. I can't attend the meeting today. Something really important popped up. Take a look at the picture. The information popped up on my phone just as I needed it. One time, my friend and I were attending a concert and he had our tickets on his phone. Unfortunately, we had no internet service, so we couldn't get the tickets. But luckily, right as we approached the entrance, our tickets popped up on his phone and we were able to get in. Criticizing. Oh, I know how this feels. Criticizing means saying bad things about someone or something. If you are an English teacher on YouTube, there is a good chance that you will be criticized in the comments. Feel free. If you would like to criticize me, go ahead and put it in the comments. Some people are criticizing Trump for the way he spoke to Putin online. Oh boy. Bad timing. That is never fun. Bad timing is when something happens at a wrong or awkward time. How about this? You're trying to take a test and then your computer dies. Take a look at this sentence. My computer's battery crashed during the test. Such bad timing.
All of this coming after those strikes overnight that led to President Zelensky of Ukraine actually ending his trip early to South Africa. Let me pop up some of the video of the arrival here of Zelensky. This is as he stepped off the plane, met with some of the leaders in South Africa. And essentially he said, look, this attack happened in Kyiv. I need to head back home right now. However, there was a news conference that was held with Zelensky a bit earlier on today. It was not in English, so unfortunately we were not able to bring that to you.
Now, in the newscast, they talked about airstrikes or just strikes. Strikes are attacks with weapons like missiles or bombs. It looks like an airstrike is happening in that photo. As Trump posted his message, Russia continued to launch strikes in Ukraine. We probably have 6 different ways we use strike in English, Maybe I should do an English lesson about that word, but here is another way we use strike in English. It doesn't appear in the newscast though. Strike, it means to hit something. The boxer struck. That's the past tense form of strike. The boxer struck his opponent with a powerful punch. Another English phrasal verb here, stepped off. It means to leave or move away from something. Like that man is stepping off the bus. You can step off a plane, you can step off a train, but you really don't step off a car. You might step out of a car. After posting, Trump quickly stepped off the plane without answering questions. I'm kind of losing my voice. This was my first day back teaching after a week's long vacation. You can also step off social media. He stepped off social media for 2 weeks to give his brain a break. Essentially, it's another way to say basically, or in other words. A lot of native English speakers will use this to make their point stronger. It's essentially a good word to know for conversations. Trump was essentially telling Putin to end the war immediately without conditions. Head back. Maybe you know, last week I was in Mexico. I had a great time, but on Saturday I headed back home. The official definition, to return to a place. Trump said it was time for soldiers to head back home and stop fighting.
This is as he stepped off the plane, met with some of the leaders in South Africa, and essentially he said, look, this attack happened in Kyiv. I need to head back home right now. However, there was a news conference that was held with Zelensky a bit earlier on today. It was not in English, so unfortunately we were not able to bring that to you. However, the attack we're talking about, this is some of the video coming in of the aftermath there. You can see over in Kyiv as it was attacked by Russia. We know that at least 9 people have been confirmed dead, dozens of others injured. We don't have an exact really idea yet of the extent of the injury.
The aftermath. What is that? It's just what happens after a big event, usually something bad. Take a look at that picture. It looks like it's the aftermath of a fire. Who knows, maybe a bombing? In the aftermath of Trump's post, many leaders gave different reactions. Confirmed. It means officially said something is true. The White House confirmed that Trump made the post without working with them first. Last week, I took a tour of Chichen Itza. There will be an English lesson about that soon. But my tour wasn't confirmed. Like, I wasn't really going on that tour until I paid for it. Take a look at the sentence below. My tour was confirmed after I paid with my credit card. Now that I am back and summer is coming up, I am doing more tutoring sessions. If you would like for me to be your one-on-one tutor, check the description, check the comments. There is a link where you and I can get together and speak some English. Exact. It just means precise or 100% correct. In that picture, that dart hit exactly in the middle of that dartboard. It is still unclear what Trump's exact plan would be for ending the war. When you are reading in English, you may come across an unknown word. In that sentence, it's an adjective, but here it's a noun. It means things that are not known yet. There are still many unknowns about how Putin will react to Trump's messages. Figure out. English phrasal verb? Maybe. It's review. It just means to find the answer to something. World leaders are trying to figure out if Trump's post will help or hurt the peace process? Like, is President Putin going to be mad because Trump told him to stop? Or will that make him want to come to peace more quickly?
How we got here. I mean, parts of the world are on fire. Why is that? One of the reasons, certainly not the only reason, but one of the reasons is that for the last 2 years and change, President Biden, in terms of national security and in terms of international relations, has taken the bullet train to Chumptown.
All right, this next guy, he is a senator from Louisiana, and he often has some interesting ways to use the English language. He mentions a bullet train, and that is simply a very fast train. At one time, France and Japan had the fastest trains in the world. I think we could call them bullet trains, but now I don't know. Maybe China has the fastest trains in the world. Some news reporters joked that Trump's message traveled across the internet like a bullet train. That is just an example sentence. I don't think anyone has ever said that. All right, Chumptown and a chump. We need to talk about both of them. A chump is someone who is easily fooled and not respected. The guy in the picture might be a nice guy, but he does kind of look like a chump. Chumptown is a place full of fools or full of chumps. How about this example sentence? Trump warned that if Putin didn't stop the war, Russia would turn into Chumptown and lose respect around the world. Again, just an example sentence. I don't think Trump has ever used that term, Chumptown. I was just editing that lesson and realized I forgot to explain chimp. It's not chump, it's chimp, and it's simply short for chimpanzee. That is going to do it for today's English lesson. I hope you found it useful. Remember, if you would like me to be your one-on-one tutor, check out the comment section. Before we go, I would love to give a shout out to some channel members who have been channel members for a long time. Right at the bottom, you can see Bob, the Canadian great English teacher. Check him out if you don't know him. 56 months. He has been a channel member. I don't know how many years that is. Could it be over 4 years? Also, Roman, NYC, Alexander Jamiris. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Shevket. I met him in Turkey. Great guy. Caroline. She has been a channel member for 39 months. I forgot to hold the microphone in my hand. Hopefully you heard that last little bit. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.